What up? My name's Gabe, and we are going to be talking about some stuff today that will inform you. And let's see. So, we are going to go on
This is 100
YouTube.
booster packs of Pokemon 151, and today we're going to be opening up.
So, we are going to check out on our weather today. Maybe you all haven't been so focused on weather, which I know for a fact that Kansas will be in danger. Well, not in danger, but a lot of severe thunderstorms going through as for this week. And let me check this, and we will force focus on our weather. This guy's my favorite, Ryan Hall. He's
at well over 80 miles per hour in some areas, and that's going to be very important for storm development as we go into early next week. And in response to this upper level forcing, we expect on the surface a low pressure system.
And then we have
and
that.
this low pressure system is going to act like an engine, once again cranking up warm, moist air from the Gulf up into that
That is Monday,
increased
April
area
28th,
of
2 a.m.
lift, and that's going to be the reason why we have storms forming out here in this region. So that's the general synoptic setup, but now let's focus on Monday, which is the day 6 forecast
Park,
period, and the
Kansas.
Storm Prediction Center is already highlighting a significant threat area. This is a 15% probability for severe thunderstorms across a broad area stretching from Oklahoma northward through
That's
Kansas,
from
Nebraska, potentially
Monday, April
Iowa,
28th.
Minnesota, and Wisconsin. Looking at the ingredients that are going to be in this here as a result of that low pressure system, once again bringing
No,
up
Steven.
moist air up into the
Because
plains,
good play.
air behind it. All of that's going to be meeting right over top of our lift. Put all that
Again, that's
together,
Park,
and we're going to have a
Kansas.
decent amount of Cape convective available
See, so
potential
Kansas gotta be in
on
trouble, so
Monday
is all
afternoon
these.
and into the evening. We can see some places approaching 2,500 joules per kilogram of Cape, maybe even 3,000 joules per kilogram of Cape. And basically what that means is that we're going to have a substantial amount of thunderstorm fuel out there. Anything over 1,500 is going to get the job done. So 2,500 to 3,000, that's more than enough to cause very robust thunderstorms. On top of the instability, we're also going to have wind shear. So because we have that low pressure
Again, Park,
system
Kansas, that is
bringing in winds
Tuesday.
kind of from the southeast on the surface, and then raking winds over top of that, a little bit higher up in the atmosphere, a little bit perpendicular to that, those winds are turning with height. We call that wind shear, and we can kind of see where we have some enhanced wind shear looking at our storm relative helicity here, where we have some places that exceed 200 with that storm relative helicity metric there. Anything over 150
that should help the storms to develop.
Oh wow, this could actually cause enough rotation to lead to supercells, and we have some places approaching 400 here according to the GFS. Now this will change, but it's something that we are keeping an eye on, because if we have all of these ingredients coming together and we have rotating supercells on top of that, we could be talking about a more substantial threat. And that substantial threat is going to carry us all the way into Tuesday, April 29th, 2025, where we have an even larger Day 7, 15% risk area
now
from
we're
the
heading
Storm
out.
Prediction Center. This includes northeast Texas and Oklahoma, eastward across the Mississippi Valley, and potentially into the Ohio Valley and lower Great Lakes region as well, maybe even towards lower Michigan. The same upper level trough we've been talking about will be marching eastward as we go into Tuesday. This is going to create a pretty substantial cold front here, and as that moves east, it's going to rake all of the moisture that's being pulled up from the Gulf into a pretty large but concise area where we will see strong thunderstorms again. And similar to Monday, on Tuesday here, all hazards are going to be possible. We're talking about large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes. Now, of course, as this is a little bit farther into the future, there's more uncertainty with the exact timing and placement of these storms. In fact, I think it's a possibility that this risk area might be moved a little bit farther
Oklahoma, a little bit of Texas,
on how the models and our understanding of the storm evolves over time. But for the most part, this is a pretty good target zone for us to be focusing on for Tuesday, April 29th.
Pour Listerine on your feet to clear toenail fungus? Nope. You see, when fungus gets underneath the toenail, it thickens the nail to protect itself. But filing down those thick layers is...
If we take a look at the lightning density on the European model, which kind of shows us where lightning strikes could occur, and we can use that information to infer that, okay, well, if we have lightning strikes here, we probably have storms, and you can just see that we're going to have a huge area of multi-cluster storms, maybe a large line of storms, and of course there's going to be a threat for some isolated supercells as well as we go into the afternoon and evening hours on Tuesday. It looks like some of the stronger storms will likely be from an area around Chicago, past St. Louis, down into northeast Texas. So this is going to be something that we watch very closely, and it looks like those storms are going to dissipate quite quickly the farther east they go. So it just depends on how fast that trough.
So you see there's going to be a lot of storms this week, and you just don't know how bad it could be. You're going to check out the placement that you just had
for us to be focusing on for Tuesday, April 29th. If we take a look at the lightning density on the Europe in the early days, I had severe weather. We also have storms today and tomorrow, and threats for today going through tomorrow and the next day and the next day. In fact, today, when Texas, Oklahoma there, and storms are going to start popping off.
Okay. So we're going to look at it. And see what we see, because that was 5 hours ago. It could have changed by now. Alright, you guys see that, right? So part of Kansas is having flash or severe thunderstorm warning. Some of Colorado and some of Texas. That's still very little. And then you got this. A lot of stuff. A lot in Texas. This is senior prediction, okay. And then we got a lot in Texas, a lot of Louisiana, a lot of stuff. There's a big giant line and a big giant circle. Some in Kansas. This the big part that we might worry about is this. All along in here, because that is connected. I mean, this whole storm is it. So that won't be good. That could change though. That is April. That is ending Wednesday, April 23rd. So that's at 12. So there's a little bit of information that you guys need there. And that's pretty good. 6 hour, 72 hour. That's looking bad. Oh, that's horrible. It's like a big giant, and it's gonna be pretty bad. I'm gonna go to forecasts. I'm new to this, so I don't know how to really work stuff. Okay. With that, some viewer outlooks. Apparently this site is not working well. My internet's strong, so it's not me. load it. There we go. Stonebridge Center. Outlook. Kansas, where I'm at, we're in the green. So that would be Virgil. So Kansas Orange. That one. Which is not okay. But it will do. Now, day 2, we're going to Category. And me would still in the green, which is Virgil. Let's look at the tornado threat on day 1. Some part of Kansas and the same part of Texas that I was worried about last night. Hell. We got a pretty good chunk. Naturally, I might be in the orange, which is 50% chance. And then with those lines, it will be worse there. And then next up, wind. Just through all that, I'm in the green, which is that one or that one. So it leads all the way through Texas to Oklahoma. Might hit Oklahoma City, which is right there. Maybe nick it. And we'll come up to part Colorado, part there, and then some down all the way over here. And then day 2 on tornado. Oh, I don't know what just happened. Tornado. We're looking at some Oklahoma and some part of Kansas and a little bit of Texas. Other parts seem fine. Hell, outlook, a large part of Kansas, a little bit of Colorado, almost half, a good chunk of Texas, and a little good chunk of Oklahoma. Wind, and this is Wednesday. Wait. No, it's updated Wednesday, value of Thursday. So, and then wind, that's a pretty good still chunk. Day 3. Category outlook. This is by Friday. Pretty bad for Oklahoma and a little bit of Texas. That's Myrtle, so not too bad. But if you notice, this actually looks like a neck, and then a head, and then a body. But then the rest, it's just right there. I mean, not bad. And then all those, but we're not going to go through that. So hope you like and subscribe, and you hope you like this video. My name's Gabe. Subscribe to the channel. Peace.